Welcome to Pilled. This is where we discuss the world of Manosphere today and each of its Crayola 64 box of pills, from the red to the blue to the ivory lavender, whatever you call it. We're talking about all the different types of pills that these Manospheres out here are having our young men and some older men than they really should be listening to this shit taken. So I'm Evan. That's Mike Cacalardo yelling in the background. And I am here today with two people, my regular co-host and a special guest. But co-host, why don't you introduce yourself first? Oh, it's choppy.
His connection.
Yeah.
Oh, he's disconnected.
Now he disconnected. They know the power of all of us cannot be together.
That's funny.
That we are too strong when we are together.
Huh?
Who took Olivier?
The aliens.
Usually they take me. Who hath taken him?
That's so funny. Can you
I s-
imagine if that actually happened and we're just like, oh yeah.
that the red pill is a psyop from aliens and the CIA,
No,
and
I
we're
don't
onto
think so.
something.
I mean, well, I don't know if
It-
you want me to
well, I don't
spell
really think so. Well, he's back, so he hasn't been abducted. Ooh.
right.
Okay, so Olivier, are you a whiskey drinker today?
Oh
That
no,
what that
no.
is?
Today is Bacardi Gold.
Oh, I have Bacardi Gold. I have gold and silver.
Mm,
I don't even
yeah,
know what that is.
it's just
It's rum.
it's just straight liquor. It's just straight liquor.
Mhm.
It's just
No,
liquor.
I can drink liquor. I drink liquor. Okay.
Yes, it's just straight liquor.
No, I'm gonna say no, thank you.
Yeah. Today I'm drinking Bacardi. Why? To be honest, I went to go buy some wine for my wife, and
Mhm.
I saw it. It was on sale for like $3 less. I was like, why not?
Might as well. Yeah,
Exactly. Might as well treat myself. So,
might as well.
Oh, but you still got her the wine.
oh yeah, no, I got her a wine.
Oh,
Three
I
bottles.
thought.
Three
the,
bottles for 17
the way
bucks.
you introduced it, I thought you literally replaced the wine with that and said, "Honey, this was $3 less, and I'm gonna put in a wine glass and give it to you," and she's gonna get mad.
I was gonna say that's a bad move.
It
Don't do that.
is. Okay, and all right. Well, we skipped our normal things. I'll just skip through it. I'm broke and do broke people artist stuff, and he's a teacher, and I'm a teacher, so that means we're extra compounded broke. And he's also a parent, and I'm a parent of a cat.
That's
And
funny.
we are here with. Feel free to
Rachel,
introduce
hi.
yourself. Yes,
Well,
and tell us
I'm
about
not a
yourself.
teacher, but I am a nanny, so I still work with kids. But I do work with babies, so I don't know if that's the same thing. I'm from Philly. Well, I live in Philly now, and just a girl, you know, just a girl.
Just a girl, and
Yeah.
and and our co-host Olivier's cousin.
Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
there's
fine.
that. That is that. Related by blood. That is that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a small little thing.
Um. Anyway, so we've already made history in broadcasts because we've had on two women now, and that's never been done before.
That's
Uh,
funny.
in
But
casts
thank you
that
for
are,
having me.
yes, of course, we actually like women and might even care about them, being that one of our hosts has procreated with one. I would hope so, and
Let me.
has one as a child.
I would hope so too.
You know what? Hold on, wait.
I
My
agree
wife.
with
Let me
that.
just make sure that I.
He's gonna make sure he's married and that
You
he still has the child.
like you and care about you.
That's funny.
I'm just
So
making sure.
so you don't wake up telling her about the female nature.
No.
You don't tell her today in the female nature. This is what you females. You don't start the day with that.
I don't know what the female nature even is.
You haven't read that pill.
No, I haven't read that pill.
Well, you haven't gotten there yet. That is pill magenta. like the Pokemon, like the Pokemon. Like there's gold, silver,
Magenta.
Ron magenta. Yeah. So since we have a woman guest on now, I want Ray. What do you go? It says Ray there. Do you prefer Ray or Rachel?
You call me Ray.
Okay. Ray, what is your introduction to the red pill and your understanding of it?
My introduction, honestly, I'll say I was more familiar of it for like maybe 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I was just dating, well, not in a relationship, but just dating this guy. And I was just becoming really disgusted by his behavior. I was like, why are you like this? Like, and I think he did say, he was like, oh, like fresh and fit. And then I was like, oh, hell no, I gotta go. But when I started watching his behavior, I was like, oh, this is what red pills are? Like, this is how they act? This is strange. And that's kind of how I was introduced to it. So.
When Olivier first said fresh and fit, I thought it was a meal service.
Honestly, that makes
I had no idea what the fuck he's talking about. And then he told me it's like one of these red pill pockets. Like, okay. So okay, but I was gonna say expand though. Like, what was he doing that made you like, what is going on? And then what did he justify through fresh and fit? Like, what exactly were some of these things?
So like the things that he would want, I'm like, why would I do that for you? Like, I'm just dating you. So like he would want me to clean things for him or like wash things for him, cook for him. I'm like, bro, we're not even in a relationship. These expectations are like a little extreme. And if you don't do these things, apparently you're like the worst girl ever, and you don't
Did he hunt?
Good treatment. Huh?
Did he go hunting and forage for you?
Oh, no, definitely.
Well,
not.
If we're going back decades, I'm just curious. What?
Yeah, but I don't know. I also feel like he didn't have a great relationship with his mom, and I tend to notice men who have bad relationship with their mom, they just don't know how to treat women. I kind of, and also I don't date men who, personally, didn't grow up with sisters. And I have to say, all the guys that I've dated who had sisters, were really good men to me. I don't know. So
I've seen some break that mold, but I understand why you're saying that, though.
Yeah, obviously not all of them, but yeah, I feel like when you're around women, you tend to know how to treat some women better, if the women were healthy, of course.
That, and it's amazing how much cognitive dissonance some men can have, the way they talk about women and then go home to sister, wife, daughter, et al. And it's just like, weren't you just but that's different.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, not me, but you. It's like they separate themselves from everyone else. It's really
Right.
strange. It's like they're living in a fantasy. It's weird.
So I just want to point something out here. A lot of people who join Red Pill movement, whatever the hell it is, capsules, when they do that, they are looking for guidance about relationships and girls and how to talk to girls, get with women. You are just giving an example of a man who is in a relationship with a woman and is looking to people to tell him how to act and what to expect from you, and clearly making things worse. I just want everyone to see what the irony here.
Yeah, but I feel like when they're listening to Fresh and Fit, they don't realize, like I always say, why do you take advice from people who are not living the life about the advice that they're giving? It's like getting marriage advice from somebody who's single. That doesn't make sense. They're single. Getting relationship advice from Fresh and Fit, but they have no girlfriend. Where's their girlfriend? How can they tell you to get a girlfriend when they got no girlfriend? I'm like, I don't know. That don't make sense to me.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've
Well,
been saying. That
I'm
and they're
And I
gay.
think, and this is why I think the people who do red pills, they don't tend to be as intelligent because the men that I've like who are a little bit educated, they're like, oh, one and one equals two, But this is not adding up. But men who tend to lack self awareness and they just are like followers, they're more likely to fall for that because they're followers. Like me, I'm gonna ask questions. I was always a child who's gonna ask questions. What's going on? Why is that this way? I don't understand. But they don't ask questions. It's just, oh, he said that, so it must be true. I'm like, what? I don't know. It's weird.
That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. I've been saying that one, it's weird to get advice from people who don't do what they're talking about.
Yes, it's very weird.
Two, they're gay. All right, these men are gay. All right,
and what
that's
Olivier
And
means
there
by
have been
this
signs.
is that yeah, go ahead.
No, there was
The,
signs that they were doing stuff like
well,
stuff with men.
the prioritizations are gay
it's
because you are prioritizing another.
It is.
He is with if a lot of the goal with the red pill shit. Also, I don't believe the goal with the red pill shit is to get a girlfriend. I think the goal with the red pill shit is to get a trophy, a woman that is a trophy to show other men and to add notches to belt, catch them all. Again, Pokemon references. Like it's just you're trying to get the Mewtwo. That's all this is. You're trying to like stunt on people with like the top Pokemon. It's like no, no, no. Here's a baddie Stacy that I'm gonna outdo you with. It's like it's not even about the quality of the relationship. I don't think it lends itself to because being in a relationship with any sort of quality that is not like trying to turn the clock back to like the fucking 1950s involves you having empathy, not
Mhm,
dictating to your woman to cook and clean. I
mhm.
don't know what century they think we turned the time machine back to. Um, I don't think any of this lends itself to actual relationships, but yes, they are prioritizing more. How does this trophy, this prize look to other men? And how will that other man if I go to whatever Fresh and Fit followers and say I am having an incredibly supportive, intimate relationship with my girlfriend, which is what I would aspire, many men would, they would say what you just said, Olivier, probably, that's gay.
gay, man.
But what's so funny is that it's not. It's actually the highest echelon, a decent, empathetic, you know, intimate relationship with a woman is kind of the goal. It's like when I was 18 and I went out with a girl and I told my friend, I was like, yeah, I took on day. And he's like, you smashed? I said, no, it was the first day. He said, first date, that's gay. And I said, dates are gay now?
If you whatever you do, right? If
Yeah.
you're trying to impress other men, right? If you're dating women to impress other men, you're not gay. If
You're, yeah.
if you're on a date with a woman and you're thinking about what will my guys think about me while I'm on this date with this woman, you're gay. I'm not saying that in a derogatory or a mean way. I mean that you are thinking about men more than women think about men and more than gay men think about men.
Right, right.
You're gay.
It's actually another echelon because unless the gay man is constantly thinking about other gay male friends, he's thinking about the gay dude he's with. Whereas you guys are thinking about randos across across country and world that you don't even know that are named like Snickerdoodle 18, and like you are trying to like impress that motherfucker who could be a Russian bot for all we know,
Mhm.
and it's not the lady you're with. Like this guy's in a relationship with a real woman and says, I gotta go to two random men named after a meal service to like tell me what I should be doing with my time with her. You made it, dog. Just focus on your time with the person. Like that should be it, unless that's not your goal from the start. The goal from the start is to have things to report back to them.
In which case,
Yeah,
just be
but I
gay.
think, yeah, but I think that's what most men do. And when you even look at the whole how many bodies you got, right? I always say it's interesting how when a woman has a lot of bodies, her value goes
Mm-hmm.
down, meaning men are calling
Yes.
themselves trash, right?
Right.
Because
Right.
if my value goes down if I fuck men, that means you're trash. But
Mm-hmm.
if men, have intimacy with a lot of women, then they're the men. So that means women are the prize if you're gaining, value
Right.
from sleeping with a
Right.
lot of women. But I think for men, it's just like, I don't know. It's like there's a competition. But honestly, I feel like
There
everyone's
is.
competing, men and women. So I can't really say it's just a man thing. But I think people just like to compete. No one wants to feel like you're doing better, you have more. It's just people just don't like that feeling. So it's like, oh, you got 2 bitches? Okay, I can get 5. It's like, bro, but why? Like, what are you trying to
With
prove?
what
I'm just trying to
job?
have a good time.
How can you even afford? I couldn't afford to take 5 women to Applebee's right now. Where are you taking 5
You
women?
got 2
No,
bitches.
but okay. I'll say this: the men that I know who have a lot of women, there's a specific type of women that they go for. So
But what is
it's just
have also? Like, what do you define by have sex or actually date?
I would say both. I would say honestly intimacy more than date, because I think a lot of women don't really value dating the way that they think they do. They'll just kind of have sex with a man just to have sex with a man. A lot of women are not as
Yeah.
like a lot of women. Look, I think as a woman, I know that women lie about their body count because of how it's perceived.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of women will sleep with a man on the first date. It's not that surprising to me anymore. It's like, oh yeah,
I mean, we know, Olivia and I both know that, but I
okay.
mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that that's the. I don't know if that's the majority, and I don't. My concern isn't that, of course that's happened, has happened to me, and you've talked about it, but it's not. It shouldn't be the expectation. Is all I'm saying. That like the expectation shouldn't be that this is a failure of a date if I don't sleep with the person, and I think that there are a lot of men who still go into dates like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like I don't know. I don't think they're that smart. I also say like when you don't sleep with a woman on the first date, you just naturally increase your chance of sleeping with her on the second date because you kind of show a self control. Men who want to do everything on the first date, you're like, ew, like get off me. Like you probably do this with everybody. I'm not interested in that.
Oh, but with a woman who isn't interested on the first date, you're not saying like some reverse psychology shit. Like I want to, but now that he wants to, I don't. You're saying like if he's trying to be like pushy on the first date.
Yeah, it's just not. The thing is, when a man is pushy on the first date, it's just not attractive because it's like, why would I not think you do this with everyone? Because I'm not. Well, it depends on the woman. Personally, I'm not delusional enough to be like, oh my God, he's in love with me on the first date. Wow. Like, but there are women who I know who are like that, where they meet a guy and they're immediately like, he's the one. I have to do everything with him so to show him I'm the one. And I'm like, so it's like it goes both ways. I
On the
can't really say
uh,
it just
yeah.
it just depends. Some guys, some women like that. They're like, oh, he's so attracted to me, he wants me so bad. And some women are just like, you have no self control. Please stop. Just
Well,
depends on
and
the
First
woman.
date, damn.
and also that some women literally need time to be comfortable being that intimate with someone. Like
Of
a
course, some
lot,
women are just like,
yeah.
I gotta like
They,
you.
well, even if they like you, it's that this is another level for them. A lot of people, that's a certain of being naked with someone, being in that intimate state takes time for them to even be comfortable with someone, and that's natural
Mm-hmm.
too. My joke about the whole female nature thing is that when I hear this, it makes it sound like women have one schematic, like one blueprint, and it's not the case. We're talking about it right now that so many different women will approach a first date with different things. So if a
Mm-hmm.
guy sleeps with 2 women on the first date and then he's thinking, well, this is what women want. The third must want this, and it's like that's not how anything. What, bro? What if on the low the last 2 guys she was with want to get pegged? Would you want her to think that about you now? I was like, hey, the first two dudes like pegging. He must too. I don't think so.
I'm gonna put up depending on the man. All right. I know a couple of fellas who enjoy it. I'm
Uh,
I'm not here to kink shame, not here to yuck your yum.
no, but the point is,
But
it's
yeah,
not an
no.
assumption. It is definitely not an assumption.
No, you're right.
It is something that would develop over time that one would find out. So you don't get oh, I think she left.
She'll come back
Yeah,
sooner or later.
you don't get you still should approach every one of the things a lot of the red pill ideology wants to do is kind of like streamline and almost businessify women, because it gives you kind of this plan for all women, and if they don't fall into this plan, they're not worth it.
Or they'll even call them a unicorn and be like, "Oh, that's not real." And that's just because they don't have a plan because they've never been through it and it's not real. All right?
Yeah,
Most of their advice is not real. The only advice I would honestly take from red pill, and this is even with a grain of salt, which all advice you should take with a grain of salt, is how to work out. That's it. That's the only
yeah,
advice I would take from those guys.
yeah. And
Okay.
yes, still be careful, because some of them may tell you to do things that, like, you know, mess up your rotary cuff if you're not careful. How's it going? Okay.
Hello.
So,
Hi.
so
My phone is hot, so it might turn off again.
all good.
You may need to turn on your AC.
Oh.
That helps out my phone.
Okay. Let me do that.
I think one of the things that confuses some men is, it's not that everything these guys say never is true within the course of life. Can there be a woman that is superficial in the way that they're talking about? Sure. Can there be someone that actually does want to be treated in a certain way that is pretty demeaning and like sexist, at least objectively looking at it? Sure. But again, the problem is that they're making this into not only a sexist generalization that does clearly put men as being more important than women. It's also that they're making it sound like there's a plan that's ultimately going to work on everyone. And if it doesn't work on this woman, she's not worth it. Or as Olivia said, not real, but maybe she is real. Because it just doesn't go with their narrative, their ideology. There's a lot of women who, this guy was asking you to cook and to clean and all that shit. There are some women who will do that. And they'll do it without being asked. And they'll do it, like, for example, I love to cook. So when I've cooked for someone, many times they've cleaned. And it's because it's like, you did something very nice for me, and I'm happy to do this for you. That's what a partnership is. Like, I don't understand how these people are giving advice to anyone who's going to want to end up being in a marriage, raise children. Because unless you think you're going to be alpha dog all the way through to being 85 years old in a house with a cane, I mean,
you could, it's definitely possible. You could. You just may not be that guy. Not everyone turns to be 85 and and is that guy at 85.
once a diaper is on, there's no more alpha dog. I'm sorry.
Who's the guy who invented Playboy?
Hugh Hefner.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure at one point he had diapers too. He's just rich. It doesn't change anything. A lot of rich people can look great when the cameras are there, and then we don't know how many depends are behind them. Anyway, point being that men who are deep in this ideology, I don't even really care, because unfortunately, and this reminder to anyone listening to sponsor us, sponsor alternative people, because as long as you keep sponsoring those who perpetuate this bullshit, it's going to be more popular. Um, but I'm not talking about like the Fresh and Fit or like Andrew Tate's. They're so far deep into it, and hey, they make money off it. They made a career off it, but they don't have much of an incentive to change. But the men who are really lost and looking for messaging, I'm more talking to them and saying this group of people doesn't want you to find love and intimacy and be successful. They just want you to like whatever think that they have advice for you to get the next trophy and to just want to impress them. And if you do impress them, even they're gonna try to outdo. What's the thing? Mogging, like
Oh
where
yeah,
you like
mugging.
outlook someone
Yeah, so
or some shit.
mugging essentially you outlook or you become out. Mugging is either you outlook or you just become the better man than the other one, and then steal the girl from that man in front of him. Yes.
But that's just Mr.
You know,
Steal Your
I'm
Girl.
not
That's
gonna
not
lie.
mogging. Oh, go ahead.
One thing I've noticed, like, they just explain how like sometimes guys become another guy who has more, and I'm like, why do you think I'm gonna want that guy? External thing, like that's crazy. So this I don't know if he was a drug dealer, scammer, I don't know, but he said something very warm to women. He said, not because I gave you 2,500 mean a guy who gave you 500 didn't give you more than the 2,500 that I gave you could me. The 500 that he gave you could everything because I was probably, and this
Oh,
2,500
she's
meant
breaking
nothing to
up.
me, just like whatever. Oh, can you hear me?
I heard something up to the drug dealer dude giving the 2,500, but then it got very choppy.
Okay. Okay. So basically, the drug dealer was saying like him giving a woman 2,500 versus man giving her 500, very different things. And how, oh, it's confusing. Can you hear me?
It's still the connection still is really. Olivier, could you hear?
And she's gone. What I heard was something along the lines of some dude who can give a woman $2,500 is nothing to him, I think. And then some other guy giving $500 to a woman is a lot more because he's giving, his last $500. I think that's what
Right, right,
I think.
right.
I think.
That makes sense. That someone can give something to you, and because it, like, exactly, because they don't have much, it means a lot. And that's what I consider some of the difference in the experience that I've had, honestly, with people who were born here and buy into a lot of westernized dating. And because the thing that the red pill forums do effectively is they take some of the worst examples of messaging that women will have. It's very similar to Fox News, right? You'll take the worst. Someone who was undocumented really did murder someone, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll take that, blast it everywhere, and make it look like the norm, not the exception.
Yeah, they've done that a few times. I forgot who. I've heard like
They'll
two or
take the
three.
absolute worst
The worst,
example of someone. Yeah,
but not realizing the fact that like, hey, statistically speaking, those who are immigrants, documented or undocumented, commit less
commit
crimes.
fewer crimes, especially undocumented, because they don't want their legal status ever
To be,
being like challenged. So it's
yeah,
so, but they'll take an example, and I think that the red pill groups do something similar,
oh yeah,
and and unfortunately, even people sometimes like this guy Taliban, some of the messages that he's talking about and the things he's seeing are not necessarily representative of lots of groups of women. Are they representative of some groups? Perhaps. But why? My question is, are like if there are groups across social media and across this country of women who want to be hypergamous, date in a way that elevates social class, that want men to have a certain baseline, you name it, height, income, all these things. My question is, why are you wasting your time with them? Because what good advice is saying forget them and find women who will value you. Red pill advice is saying waste time hating them. It's like you're spending time with all this anger and animosity towards this bitch and that bitch, and it's like while you're doing that, how you could find a woman who probably doesn't give a shit if you just went to fucking Mickey D's. I'm not saying always do that on the first date if you can afford doing something else, but I am saying that there's a lot of women out there who it's not that important to them where you take them out. You don't have a lot of money. And I'll tell you what I literally have done, and women have loved it. I took them on a picnic. I just took some stuff from the house, made little snacks, and just went out. And they like that because it took a bit of planning. And also, most people don't get taken on picnics anymore. It's different. Okay? So, like, you could put your energy into actually spending time with someone or looking for someone. But if you're constantly going to be in this point of anger and animosity towards women, you're not going to find that person. You're going to be too caught up in the Stacy's who you'll never meet. And if you have met these people and they have wronged you, why are you still wasting your time on them? The red pill ideology wants you to hold this animosity and waste so much time that you could be finding actual women.
Stacy's mom has got it going on. That was my first thought. My second thought is misery loves company. So in the sense that, you know, these guys are upset and mad. This is my honest opinion about this. Every man and every woman, at least talking about those who are on the spectrum of heterosexual, has been wronged or hurt by someone of the opposite. What is it? Sex? Gender? What is it? Sex?
In this case, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
If they're heterosexual by the gender that they're interested in. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
Yeah.
So by the opposite member, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would bet you $5,000, which I don't have, that almost every single person has been hurt, right?
Right.
By the opposite member, by whatever, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, right? So it's easy to tap into that emotion of pain and being like, hey, this person hurts you, right? Women, like, take this one person. It's almost like, I think about like how like a comedian, like I take a listen to this comedian talking about like how to do a joke, right? Everybody's laughing, but they're looking at that one person who's not laughing, right? So it's in the same sense, right? All the women might like you, but that one woman doesn't, or that one man doesn't. And now that one man, that woman has your attention the entire time. Why are you focusing on that?
Right.
Because unfortunately speaking, I think it's psychological. I might be wrong about this. Is that human beings are attracted to negative things. We are attracted to the idea of just negative, bad things. We like looking at car accidents. We like looking at dramas. We love just negative stuff because it's easier to understand and relate to.
But you know what? To your point on another podcast, we also like Forrest Gump.
I love Forrest Gump.
but Forrest Gump is a plot. This is the thing. We like both. And it's like, I think it's an old Native American saying, like, within you there are two wolves, like one is envious and mischievous and violent, and one is decent and like has courage, and you know, and which wolf is gonna win? And it's the one you feed. That's the answer. I think it's what you're saying, but it's also what you said about Forrest Gump. I think it's both. I think we like both of these things, but it depends which we feed. And Andrew Tate and Fresh and all these Fresh Fit, the red pill groups, they want you to feed the angry alpha wolf.
Which I think, honestly, because I was talking about it with my another cousin about this stuff. Like, he's like, hey, like, doing bad things is human nature. And I was like, yeah, but also doing good is also human nature.
Exact. They're both.
Right? It's like
We got both.
right. And his thing was like, but yeah, but like people commit. I'm like, that's the key word, commit. Right? What commit is the choice. Thoughts, like my philosophy professor told me this. He's like, hey, thoughts by themselves are not good or bad. They're just thoughts.
They're just thoughts.
Right? You can theoretically speaking be in a bus, think about like I could kill everyone on this bus. You could think that.
FBI Jim, he didn't. Go ahead.
Right? you can have that thought like, oh, I could kill all the people on the bus, right? It does not make it bad. What makes it bad is thinking about it and deciding to think to yourself, be like, I'm going to do this action. I'm going to commit to do this thing. That's what makes it
right.
bad.
But the other thing is that when we say commit murder, homicide, harassment, we don't use that same terminology for decent behavior, do we? This guy committed generosity.
This
we
man
don't
is a committed relationship. That's still commitment.
No, in a committed relationship, but we don't say someone committed decency. We don't say someone committed whatever warmth and affection. We always make this very strong focus on once someone commits homicide, you're not caring anything else they did in their life. At least the state doesn't most of the time, right? Well, it depends who you are. As we know, there's unequal justice. But many times, it's that worst action that gets the most attention. And vice versa. A cop can save someone from a burning car, and they could have also shot someone the day before. Right? We are bad with that as Americans. I've always said, you look at cops, right? They'll save you from a bullet, and they'll put one in you.
Do it at the same time.
And then maybe at the same time. It's like we don't do that well as people, the ability to hold two things, that people in general can be swayed to do horrific things, and people can be swayed to do great things in individual sense and in groups.
I think the word is duality. I think
there is a duality, but it's fluid, and that's why people like Andrew Tate are dangerous. And because he has a captive audience, he can sway. Look, it's the same thing with the insurrection. Donald Trump didn't physically go in and insurrect the Capitol, but he definitely led some people there, right? There are some people that maybe were on the verge of joining that group, but when he said, fight like hell, they kind of heard their marching orders. So, you know, we really do have to find ways to support alternative messaging, sponsoring people like us who do it for free, because what you're allowing for is a narrative to almost become the dominant narrative. Like, what other kinds of masculinity that is like involving men who embrace masculinity has the same type of platform? I don't see, aside from like the closest I can think of is someone like Jason Wilson, but Jason Wilson doesn't have the same platform that an Andrew Tate or a Fresh and Fit or a Jordan Peterson or a Ben Shapiro or a Joe Rogan. Not even close.
But I also don't think he's doing podcasts. I don't think he's doing podcasts like all.
He has a podcast, I'm pretty sure. At least he goes on a lot of them. If he doesn't have his own, he definitely goes on.
I seen him come on as guests, right? But I think also the other thing is like also, at least from my own perspective, I think there's even a bigger impact of being more of a Jason Wilson, because he is teaching boys one-to-one.
Yes.
Right? There's a much bigger impact of being in front of the person, talking to the person, seeing that emotional reaction immediately, and being like, hey man, this is how you felt like, this is what you could have felt like, and like course them in a better direction. Whereas in the case of Joe Rogan, Andrew Tate, all the other guys, right, it's kind of like Matthew McConaughey's, it's a shotgun. You just shooting at everyone, right? If you get hit, you get hit. If you don't, you don't.
It's a scatter shot, yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
scattershot. So, so even and listen, even if you criticize us, like yes, we're trying to get some of those guys who are thinking
Like
of
on the fence.
on
Yeah.
the fence or thinking about it, right? I think that's more of our audience, like on the fence, or like maybe a guy's kind of like, hey, like all the lack for better words right now, like all the lefties are freaking weird. I'm like, not for nothing. Yeah, some of them can be. Not gonna lie, they can be, but also like there are regular guys who can tell you like, hey, my man, it's really weird if you tell a girl, like you look at her, be like on the first date, you have childbearing hips. That's a weird thing to say on the first date. Okay, don't do that.
I'm
Don't do
gonna
that.
order the Caesar salad, and also you
I
have childbearing hips. Actually, I'd be gay if I ordered the Caesar salad, so I lost.
You have to have chicken, right? That has meat in it.
If I get
That
the Cobb salad as bacon.
yes, exactly.
I'm sorry, Rachel. What do you want to say?
now you guys saying the masculine salad. That's crazy. I had a Caesar salad today when I went out with my mom. I'm like, not the masculine salad. What the hell?
You gotta
Did you
make yeah.
did
No,
you have
because
protein in
I'm
it? Was it
genuinely
protein?
thinking, how bad is your mental health for you to be looking at the ingredients like this is feminine,
No,
this
this
is
isn't.
like
There's
what's
not
going
enough.
on inside the head of
There's
yours?
not enough testosterone.
Like, I'm so confused.
Where is the Y chromosome in
Like, I
this
think I'm
lettuce?
scared. I'm a little scared.
Oh,
It's like there's not enough crunch. It's too feminine. Like what? Nah, you gotta
romaine.
go.
I want
You
$1,000
gotta
dressing in my
go. I'm
ranch.
sorry.
Thousand Isle bitch ass dressing. No.
Yeah, for real. Like it's too light for me. I need the dark one.
Yes,
What's going
dark
on,
meat.
sir?
Yes, sir. Relax. This is a Wendy's. Please.
No, right.
Yo, what's even funny? Ray and I both worked at a Wendy's.
Yes, we did.
And we did have people who were like that, being like, "Hey, like, how masculine is the
Yes.
taco salad? What?"
Of those calories, how many of
Yes,
them are
it's like,
men?
oh my god, it's something. No, like, yo, no, they're really weird. No, I genuinely do think people who believe those things are a little slow, because like it's just even as a woman, there are certain things that some women say. I'm just like, what? Like for example, when I'm a nanny, I see the reality of having kids. So me, I think twice about it. Do I want kids? Maybe, but
Thank
I'm
you.
also good without it because I know the reality of it, right?
Mhm.
And I think some women, if I go, oh yeah, I don't want kids. Oh, so you're not a woman? Last time I checked, I was a woman, so I'm not understanding why me not wanting kids means I'm not a woman. Like, what's going on? So this is why I think like some people are just slow. And whenever I hear men say all women should be mothers, I'm always like, no, not all women should be mothers because look at you. Look at you. Look what she created.
Oh damn!
No.
Oh damn!
Okay, please stop. Not
No.
all women should be mothers because not all women can mother children. Like, stop. Anyways, I'm done.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna I'm
god.
gonna I'm gonna add on to what Ray said, right? How some people are slow. Now, Ray, you know how I feel about education, right? I love education. I love people
Yes.
learning. I love learning, and I love people that want to learn. 54% of adults in America
This is the
can't read
statistic.
past sixth grade. In addition to that, 20% are
Right, but
functionally illiterate. They can't read past third grade. So, yes, there are a lot of slow people out there
right.
who will believe whatever you tell them. Be like, hey,
Yeah,
man,
there's a lot of slow people.
Jesus.
No, that
Like
you know.
one of my favorite philosophy teacher, he's a physics teacher. He always says like most people are just giving you bullshit and running to the bank. He always says that. And I'm
Whoa,
like,
hold
Yes.
on.
yeah,
Whoa, slow
all
down,
his
slow down. Say
session,
that one
all
more
his
time.
in-person
Say
things
that.
are
Say that
free.
one more time.
He says that most people are just telling you whatever you want to hear and they're running to the bank. That like they don't care what they're saying as long as they're getting your money and living a
Yes.
good life. So it's the same thing that's happening with the red pillar where they're literally ruining people's life and running to the bank and living their best life. Like when that guy from Fresh and Fit paid that girl that he only knew for like 2 weeks, he bought her like a 30K watch. And then when people found out about it, people were just like, so you're also paying for women? You're telling us not to pay for women, but you just spent 30K on a watch for a
But
woman you only knew for
wait a
two
second.
weeks. Like, what do
I'm
you?
so
And
confused.
this is what women are saying.
I'm confused. I thought you are
Go
supposed
ahead.
to stunt to show your masculinity, though. So you're not
Yeah,
supposed to
but that's the
stunt.
thing. It also, it's no, it's not even okay. So if you're in a low frequency, people who have low frequency where they think that is high, yes. But someone who is smart in high frequency is gonna say, you spending 30K on a woman that you just met in 2 weeks, you may not be as
Free,
intelligent as you think
where
you
do
are.
I?
Something's wrong
Where's my
somewhere,
frequency? Where do
And
I?
those
Where do I?
women are kind of like,
How do I?
okay,
Am I AM,
so like
FM?
I believe,
Yeah.
so I'm spiritual.
Where's
No,
my?
no, seriously though. Like, okay, I'll explain it like this.
Okay.
I think this is the best way to explain it. Olivier lives in the suburbs. I just left the suburbs, right? Because my parents live 5 minutes away from his house. When we're in Philly, where I live, it's a very different feeling. That's frequency. It's like the feeling that the person gives you is very different. So the area gives you a different vibe, right? There are some vibes you just look at the corner, you're like, I'm not gonna do that. This is a bad road. Like I'm not going there. It's the same thing with women and men. There are some men and women where you're just like spending 30K. Like for example, if a guy spent 30K on me, I would be very happy that he spent 30K on me, absolutely. But I would not take you seriously. I would just use you for your money because clearly you're dumb. And I'm like, easy money. Thank you. Like, why would I not say yes? Are you okay?
Well, this is
But
what
like,
gets me
why would
mad
I take
about
you
men,
seriously?
though,
Sir,
because
I'm
then they'll
going to
get
play you.
they'll be mad, but it's like she didn't ask you for that. You just gave it to her.
No.
Like
Yes. And
you
then you're
gave it
mad
to
that
her
you gave
thinking
it to
you
me?
can
Like,
buy
now I'm
her.
confused.
So,
Yes. So there's this funny story about these Asian girls who were American, but they were in Asia for vacation. And these Papar bros went there and they thought these Asian women were from actual Asia. But these women understood English and they were like, oh, we're just going to scam this guy and act like we don't speak English. And they stole so much money from these men because they were just pretending to be regular Asian girls. But they understood everything the guy was saying. The guys were like, oh, we about to scam them. We about to fuck them. We about to do everything. And this girl was like, okay. And they took all their money, everything. They got robbed. I was
Good.
like, damn, these women are smart. I said, this sounds like
Good.
something I could do. I could do that and act dumb and naive. Like, I can do that.
but they don't.
But
Yeah, we
this is
need
what
more of
happened.
that.
Women are
Yeah,
not as smart.
but
Like,
this is
women are going to
also
play you. Women are surviving too.
right. This is also where like sexism works against men. Men underestimating
Yes,
women
absolutely.
hurts them in the long run because they don't think women are smart or capable
Abs-
enough to do those things.
Absolutely. And this is what women do. Women use it against men. Oh, you think I'm stupid? All right, I'm going to act
Right.
stupid and steal your money stupidly. Like, duh.
Cardi B.
I,
But it's
Olivier, I was just
but
about
it's
to
men.
say.
But
I
it's
was just
men
about to say,
figuring.
like these guys
No,
that
it's
thought
men.
that Cardi B wanted to go home with him.
Yes, but these men who like, okay.
I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying there was a first half. She got him in the first half, is all I'm saying.
Nah, Cardi B is not as smart as she thinks. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying she's smart. I'm not saying who's smart, who's not smart. I'm saying that part of it, we also have to talk about men using how sexism makes us dumber in the
Wait,
first place.
Do you not hear about the story about Cardi B and what she did to a bunch of men?
Cardi B and who?
So a few years ago, before Cardi B became Cardi B was an exotic dancer. Yeah, whatever, right? And a lot of men would try to take her home, and she would drug them and take their money
Oh yeah,
and
I
rob
heard
them.
about that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, listen, you could say that she's not as smart as whatever it is. She still does have a college degree in political science. She does.
She's smarter than a lot of other people.
I think she's smarter than a lot
Yeah.
of other people. I think she's smarter than a lot of other people. I personally think her personal life is a little. I wouldn't live that personal life, but hey,
Right. But
that's
that's not
hers.
my business, and
That's not my
I'm just
business.
people can
But
be layered.
yeah, but the point I'm trying to say is the fact that like, hey, yeah, or what Evan's even trying to say here is like men thinking that I'm gonna get Cardi B or like those Asian women or or excuse me, the Asian Americans who went to Asia, and then men be like, I'm gonna take advantage of these women and get whatever I'm gonna get out of it. Nah, my man, you got played. You did.
Yeah, they got
The
played.
most I've gotten played from a woman, to be honest, played like out of my own pocket is $150, and that was to buy wine and cheese as a care package. To be honest, that is the most I've been played out of my own pocket.
Okay.
My
Okay.
wife does not include. We have a child, right? That is for
Yeah.
life.
Right.
I'm
That's
broke
it.
for the rest of my life.
Right.
There's no more. The play is done. It's like
Play is done.
next down, end zone,
Right?
done.
I'm retired.
But yeah, I mean, did you hear like there were multiple dudes posting about how after a first date it didn't go well or whatever, so they like this dude took a girl to the Alamo. You've been to the Alamo, right? The
No,
No,
draft
what is
house.
that?
That's where you can eat and watch a movie. They
Oh
have
yeah,
them.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
Alamo. There's one in Yonkers. There's one in Brooklyn now. I'm sure there's one in Philly. But
What is it?
you eat and drink and watch a movie. Like it's a bar
Okay.
eating movie experience. Okay. So he took a girl there, whatever happened with the date happened. Afterwards, they're not gonna have a second date. And he Venmos her for the Alamo money back. And it's like,
Man, no,
come on, man.
no,
It's the game.
no.
I've had absolute trash dates.
no,
I would never do that.
no.
I
But
don't
a
want
lot of
this to
men want to
become
be
a thing.
princesses. They want to be princesses.
Yeah, but it's worse. I don't like calling it a princess. I like they want to be fucking it. They're petty idiots. What they want is
Fair.
what they want is their little piece of revenge, and
Fair.
that's what this red pill shit has done. It's made them so thin-skinned that
Mhm.
you can't just move on.
No. This is why it's scary as a woman because they really are crazy. They can't
Well,
take
yeah,
rejection.
there's that too.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Evan. I'm on Ray's side. I think these men want to be a princess.
They want to be Princess Peach.
They want to be Princess Peach. They want to be a Princess Daisy. They want to be a princess. Listen, I'm not gonna front. I'm not gonna lie. I told my wife multiple times my dream job is to be a stay-at-home dad. Right?
Hmm.
If I could have a Kardashian and have a bunch of money and just stay at home all day and just look good,
Um,
I would do it.
well,
I would do it.
old Olivier.
Hmm?
Old Olivier. Not old.
You know, no. Even now, I want to go back to work. I want to make a bunch of money. I'm like, do it, girl. I don't want to work.
No, the
I'll-
Kardashian part. I meant not
Oh,
the.
the Kardashian
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
There's no
Sure,
Kardashian Kardashian.
You-
I just
you-
meant money wise.
right,
Money
because
wise.
we've seen the phase 2 of those relationships, and they never end up better. Name one man who has come out the other end of that. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I don't know how she feels because that puts a lot of onus. That puts the onus on her. I don't know how she feel about that.
I'm okay with it. If my wife was like, "Hey, how do you feel to make $200,000? Go for it, girl."
Oh,
I'm sick.
if she got it, get it. But
Yeah. Like I don't know how some men like, Olivia, how can you be okay with your girl making more money than you? I'm fine with it.
Oh, making more money. Oh, please make more money.
I will
I don't give a fuck.
I will gladly cook and clean, take care of the kid at home all day, right? And to be honest, to me, and I told her this, right? I do feel like as if I have more energy for stay at home than you do, right? You love to work, you enjoy it. That is your driving force. I hate working. I do.
None of the students are listening to this anyway. So anyway, yeah.
I don't care. I hate working.
Well, they should be listening to it so they won't fall in any of these idiotic traps. But I think as men, at least like I do feel the need to provide. I do think it's important to provide. I'm not looking at salaries to compare, but I do feel I should be providing. I should always provide to a relationship. Now, I'm not going to look at pay stubs, and I don't want someone to judge mine if I'm working hard. But I do think that at least that part of the whole man thing, I still do keep, and I do feel bad. I have felt bad when I feel like, when I'm scrambling to get new work and that person has a regular job.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I have
hard.
felt that before.
Mm-hmm.
But because I do have that feeling in me, I should be providing. So I'm always. I want it to be clear. I'm always ambitious and hardworking, even if I don't end up making a ton of money.
I would argue it like this, right? The reason why I can go to work and do the best job I can is because I know that my wife's at home taking care of my kid.
Yeah,
That is one less heavy thought in my mind I don't have to worry about. So
it's true.
if you do the reverse, right? If you do the reverse, right? You are the stay-at-home dad, right? You're taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. Your wife does not have to worry about the house. She can come home knowing the fact that the house will be organized,
Right.
clean, good to go, and she can go back to work and do the job to make the money. You are still providing for protecting her mental health, emotional health, that way she can do the best job she can physically speaking. I need to write that down.
But you're factually 100%. You're right. I'm not gonna act though the reality is that we're entirely there yet as a society, and that
Okay.
includes women.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I think
society.
those.
I mean,
Go ahead.
studies have shown that men tend to raise children better. But I tend to find out that
I don't.
it's
Okay.
because no. It actually does make
The VA
sense.
face.
No. It actually no. It
He's
actually
gonna record that and play it for somebody.
no. Listen. It just okay. Well, I'll I'll fix what I say. When it's a single dad and a single mom, they tend to say single fathers raise children better.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And the reason is because single father, I'm in my opinion, I think it's because children are just naturally more afraid of their father. So there's just more
Mm,
respect there. While they might just
mm,
see the woman as more, she'll be okay with it. Like, think about it. Sometimes
mhm,
the father just walks in the room, the kid, oh, I'm not doing that. So think about that person raising the children versus where the mom is like, stop doing that. And the kid is like, no. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
I have
okay.
so
a.
Okay. Okay.
I
they
have an
Okay.
tend to say this
alternative
is
theory.
why. This,
I,
yeah.
I have an
But
alternative. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
the I as a nanny, I've seen some great dads where I'm like, damn, you're doing such a better job than the wife. They're just more caring. They just seem to
Mm-hmm.
like discipline the child way better. They make the child regulate themselves a little bit more. I've noticed some mothers cater to the children. I'm like, ooh, now this child is always gonna cry because he thinks crying gets his way. He's
Mm-hmm.
not learning to, hey, you can cry, but you also can just wait. Why are you
Mm-hmm.
crying all the time? Like, relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but but yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like some fathers do tend to build more discipline disciplinary child. As long as he's a balanced dad and not too rigid, too abusive, dads tend to be more chill. Don't go
Well,
out here doing nothing, Olivia.
Hey. All
well,
I'm saying is, I
yeah,
want to be a stay-at-home dad. That's all I want to be.
and there's nothing wrong with that. And I do believe a lot of what you're saying, Ray, can be true. But I'm just saying, as a society, it doesn't mean that lots of women would have a problem with that. Because I want to be also real with other men who hear certain messages. And I do think a lot of women would have a problem with that. I do think a lot of women would want a man to provide. Now,
Absolutely.
that doesn't mean it has to be the same level of income. But I do think stay-at-home dad isn't seen the same way as providing in the society by we have now and by many women. That
Yeah,
doesn't
in
mean
this
it doesn't
society, no.
that doesn't mean there isn't a net providing that is
Right.
still there, because if we were to say that there isn't, then it would actually also discredit stay-at-home moms. Like Olivier says, yes, there's different masculine feminine energies, you can talk about all that. You still got to raise the kid, keep the kid healthy, keep the kid from not getting hit by a car, keep the kid from this and that. So
Right.
if we're not discrediting what stay-at-home moms do, we shouldn't for dad. I'm just talking about expectations and
Right.
expectations based on gender. And unfortunately, I I like to always be as realistic as possible with where we're at. There's many women who would not be cool with that dynamic But
Right.
I do think there's the flip dynamic can still be something many couples honestly get to work out. I don't think the reverse is true. I think there are couples that, you know, a woman can at some point want to stay at home and a man can continue to work and they can have that conversation and it won't turn, it'll be a different conversation many times if it was the other way around. Or if you met the person and they weren't providing much and like, that's what they wanted to do kind of at the start of the relationship too. Be a caretaker. Unfortunately, like even in your role, Ray, like a lot of men, unfortunately, even male nurses sometimes get it. Like a lot of men can be great caretakers. It doesn't mean they're necessarily seen as they're not kind of seen as less masculine sometimes for being that. And it's not fair, but it still is a reality.
I would argue so that if it's almost any female or woman dominated industry and a male's in there, unless the male's in the administration role,
Right.
then they are deemed or seen as kind of less than. Like I'm in that. Technically, education is a woman most dominated.
Yeah.
Especially for elementary, right?
Yeah.
K through fifth. Middle school is, from my perspective, it's like 50-50, right? You have a good mixture. High school, males. High school is mostly male dominated.
Male dominated teachers, really?
I think so.
I think it's still pretty.
It definitely depends on the subject. If it's
on the subject, yes.
If it's social studies or science, definitely male dominated for sure.
Yeah.
ELA, mostly women. I would say.
STEM is more men's.
And math is also mostly women. Mostly men. And then gym and then art, mostly women. But like I know that a few times I've been on a date with a girl or two, and like I'd be like, oh, like what do you do? I'm a teacher, and then immediately the mood had shifted. It's like, oh, I teach, I educate. It's like, oh, that's so cute. It's
right,
like,
it's cute, and I hate that. And isn't that you've put up with shit? I put up with shit. And knowing the shit we put up with in public schools, it ain't cute. Cute is the last word I would use.
No, especially where we teach, the areas that we teach. No, like
teaching grown ass adults in the Bronx was not cute. Trust me.
At least in my school area, we honestly at least twice a month we have to have a school lockdown because there's a shooting outside the school. We have to wait until it passes. I've been teaching at my school for 5 years. I've had students unfortunately being killed, shot and killed for things, harming themselves, multiple lots of physical, mental, emotional trauma, and now I have secondhand trauma myself. So
of course.
So when I say I teach, educate, and then I get the look of like, oh, that's cute. Not for nothing, like, yo, walk in my shoes for a week.
Yeah.
See what it's like. I brought my wife to work once for one day, and she's like, that was rough. I was like, that was a nice day.
That was a nice day. Exactly. I had a self-harm incident, and I had to help the student regulate and make sure she wasn't going to harm herself. And there was 20, not even kids. These are from 18 to like 58 in the other room with all different. Some have learning disabilities, some don't. And I just threw on a Khan Academy video and was like, watch. And I ran to the other side to try to manage it. And at the end of the day, I told this and I was like, let me get some sympathy from the rest of the teachers. And it was like, did you fill out an incident report? And I was like, did you hear what I said? Did you fill out? Why didn't you call public safety immediately? Why didn't you call them immediately? Because I knew I knew they'd escalate because they failed the NYPD test. That's why. That's why I didn't do it. And they did. They made it worse. When I got her there, when they actually did come up, they made it worse. And she got more upset. I was like, yeah, because y'all got no training for this. Of course not.
Oh,
anyway,
you freaking mall cop.
Anyway,
great. Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, but I want to say that again. This is where there's nuance here based in background, because that's with women many times who were born here and dated here. With women who I've dated who were born in South America, in the Middle East, and North Africa, and they come here and I tell them that, they respect that shit. They're like, "Oh, you're a teacher. That's great. You know, teaching like really matters. Like I need a lot of I have gaps in my education." Like because I think sometimes also if you come here as an adult, especially as an immigrant, that just the struggle of language, of understanding customs, of just all these things, like you see the value more of someone who is there to educate. And also in other countries, I think teachers are more valued and education is more valued than it is here. So
Yeah, but I also do think in other countries, teachers just can make a good living.
and there's
I
that.
think in America, teachers can't. So it's
There's
not
that
just
too.
like, yeah. So in Africa, if you're a teacher, in Haiti, if you're a teacher, you're respected, but you're also making a good living. That's why you're also respected. But in America, teacher, oh, you're making 50 to 80K. I don't want you. You making
I
this.
hate it.
This how people. This how they judge you. They're not because people want fantasy, the
Right.
fantasy life. So that's why I think when a person says, "Oh, I'm a teacher in America," it's like looked down on, because it's like, what am I going to do with that? Because most people are chasing materialistic thing. Most people are chasing money. We want to be in a world where we're like, people want love, people want to be. No, people are like, I got one life. I want the Benz. I want to cry in the Benz. I don't want to cry in the Toyota. If I'm gonna cry, why not cry in the Benz? It's like, but like this guy that I'm dating, he would just go like, but why are you crying in the first place? But
Oh
most people
shit!
are just like, they don't think about
There's
that, right?
that.
Right.
And
It's like he's
also
like, but he's
having
like,
a
yo,
Toyota is fine. But
like,
anyway.
right. That's what I'm saying. But he's like, wait, but that means you're miserable in both lives. So why
Yes.
are you crying? Right. But
Both
people
are
don't
not good.
realize these things until it's too late. And this is why I say I'm never jealous of people who make more money, because not because you make more money means internally you feel anything. And this is why rich people kill themselves all the time. Not because you got the money means internally you have anything inside. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
And
think
well
I
there's a
think that's
diff
what it is.
yeah. I think basic needs can help you certainly live. I think we're shit with basic needs in this country, and the other extreme is enough having enough things that you could give the basic needs to an entire zip code, and yet you choose to buy a yacht because you'd rather cry or be depressed in a yacht. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but
Um, I want to add something. First
yes,
and foremost, number one, I'm not gonna lie. I have never thought about like why am I crying in the first place. Ray, whoever that guy is, emotionally smart to some degree,
He's very
right?
smart.
Right. I
I'll
because
give him his credit. He be having me think too. I'd be like, oh,
I'm I swear to you, like, listen, I have like whenever he be like, oh, if you don't cry in the car, cry in the Benz, right? And he's like, but you're still miserable. Like, I'm not gonna.
yeah,
I have never thought of that. That's the first and
yes,
foremost.
no, because like Olivier Evans, I genuinely don't think people put their internal emotion, their positive emotion into aspects. It's like, yo, the decision you're making, is it gonna make you happy? Like personally, this is how I live my life. If I were to die tomorrow, would I be okay with how I'm living my life? Yes. Because I would be like, I lived the life that I liked. So I wouldn't feel like, oh my God, I'm missing out. I need to go live my life because I'm living it already. Most people aren't. So I don't know how to explain it, but most people don't experience positive emotions. So it's hard for them to think and to see life in a positive way. So for me, when he said, oh, why are you crying in the first place? I'm like, oh, this is somebody who doesn't experience the world in a negative way. So for
Mhm.
him, if somebody's experiencing a negative emotion, it's suspicious to him because he's like, why are you not happy? Why are you not okay? What's going on? But most people are so stuck in a negative frequency that they're just like, oh, you know what? Crying? I
oh,
could be
I
crying
see
in the
what you.
band.
I
You know what I mean? It's like life is so that they can't imagine a better life where they're
Right,
not
right.
complaining.
It's
Yeah.
I think kind of also correlates to what Evan and I were talking about. So Ray, you weren't here, but I was talking about how
Hmm.
comedians will go up on stage and do a joke and give a joke, right? And like the whole crowd is laughing, but there's one person in the crowd who's not laughing, and the comedians just focus on that one person, right? They only focus on that
Mm.
one negative thing. And like meanwhile,
Hmm.
everything else in their life or everything else in the show is
It's
going
good.
great. It's great. It's
Right.
good. So that's one. Second thing is Evan knows this. Ray, you know this. I'm a huge ass J. Cole fan. And you know he came up with his new album, The Fall Off. Wonderful album. And there's a song called The Villas, which features Erica Badu. And there's a lyric in there which I think perfectly correlates with, about us talking about being rich in a Benz but still crying. And this is what the line is. It says, "If money gives happiness, then please explain the rich bastard with no peace. How come they never bought their way to Zen?"
Because as somebody who works for people who have money, money does not bring happiness. Peace of mind brings happiness. And I tell this all the time to people, they don't want to listen. I'm like, comfort is the road to happiness. So if you have money, you're on the road to happiness because you can gain knowledge, you can get a therapist, you can see doctors, you can
You can
ask
eat.
questions when you have exactly.
You
You
have
can
the
be okay.
basic needs. Yeah.
But like people don't realize without comfort, it's really hard to find peace of mind.
Mm.
And peace of mind is happiness, not money. Money
I'll,
will just give you comfort, but it's what you do with that comfort. Do you heal
Right.
yourself? Do you know, like people don't do shit. They
I'm
just
gonna I'm gonna sorry, Evan, I'm jumping real quick. I'm gonna
No,
add
go
the
ahead.
fact that like there's been studies showing the fact that like, hey, money does bring you happiness. Like the more money you have, the more happier you are. But there's a threshold.
Yes.
After a certain amount of money, the difference of like having I forgot what the amount it was like per year. I think it's like $200,000 per year, or maybe like $500,000.
Yeah.
Either way, there's X amount of money. After you make that amount of money per year, anything past that, you're not more happy. You're not. You stay. It's essentially the same. Joe Rogan has said on his podcast. He's like, yeah, I have a bunch of money now. He's like, I'm not more happy.
Well, he's also making people miserable by half the shit he's saying. But
I mean, he's. I think sometimes he's trying to learn. I think he realized what he did with certain people who are president right
does
now.
he?
I'm trying to give him a chance. People deserve.
If you gave me a $200 million podcast and I had that many episodes as chances, I'd be at a different. I'd have a different estimation by now. But we're at 1%, and my thing is not charging. But I wanted to thank you for that because I do think that's important to things that the red pill community won't address, like all these intangible things. That there's no shortcut. You have to work on yourself. You can't
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think for somebody who I think I've had to really fight for my happiness, people always think it's like one day you're going to be happy. When you get there, you'll be happy. But again, that same professor that I mentioned earlier, he said, if you never experience happiness, don't think anything you get is going to expose you to that emotion. Happiness is something that you felt already. If you've never felt it, don't think when I
Then
reach
work
this,
on that
I'm
shit.
going to get it. Right. It's one of those things where like my teacher always said, if you can feel happiness